Yep. Yeah, I think the strike should be going off this page. You want a water? Yeah, yeah. Get the brother one of the waters. Shit, yeah. Hopefully people know to go to my backup page. Yeah, it should be gone Sunday. It was some bullshit though. They struck 3 videos at once. And then 2 of them they overturned, but then they did hate speech on one that was private. And I'm like, how you go? It was weird, bro. They overturned the 2, but then they kept that one, and it's just so fucking Sunday. They gotta have something. If I was Esau, y'all wouldn't have shit. Y'all wouldn't even be out here. If I was an Edomite, oh man. But that's how you know the Lord involved. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, this is still legal.
Yeah. Shalom. All right. All right, Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all praises to the Heavenly Father.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect. All right, starting with the Tabernacle of David, the 144,000. All right, the service, the prophets, which some of those very men are here on our earth in these latter days, singing the new song, the pure, 100% truth. All right, that will lead to salvation. All right, that will be preached primarily here in Babylon the Great. All right, as well as scattered abroad throughout the 4 corners of the earth, man. Through the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose Hebrew name is Yahweh. Okay, and that's through His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, through whom we have received the Holy Spirit in these latter days to do exactly what we're doing. Preaching, prophesying, repenting, calling ourselves Israelites. Everything you see right before your face is prophesied in the Holy Scriptures, and we can show it to you. You have people right now trying to figure out by carnal means what this thing is all about. Like Vocab Malone, he wants to go into the history. He wants to go into Abba Bivens wrote a book. Oh my God, he didn't put a comma here, but you put a comma. You know, that type of spirit. But really, the bottom line is this whole thing is ordained through the Holy Spirit. Right? It's all ordained through the Holy Spirit, and what we're doing is a result of what was written ages ago. Okay, and we're here to prophesy what? The downfall of Babylon the Great and the ushering in of the kingdom of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Right. Okay, through the Most High God Yahweh. Go ahead.
This is Amos 5:18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Everybody talks about the day of the Lord, as if it's this loving thing that's going to take place on the earth. No, the day of the Lord is associated with death, bloodshed, pain, heartbreak. There's a lot of people who are going to be heartbroken when they find out that this was all a sham, when it comes to an end. A lot of people think this is the end-all, be-all of existence. No, this is bullshit, okay? And we're here to tell you that the party is over. And then you got a lot of people with the Bible in their hands, what they say, the day of the Lord. You don't really understand what the hell you're talking about. The day of the Lord is famine. And what do you see happening right now on the earth? Food shortages. People are starting to notice it more, that things are significantly higher. It's going to take you more dollars to get less. That's where we are. And that's prophetic. That's a part of the day of the Lord. Eventually, people are going to be starving, beating each other over the head for ketchup packages, jelly packages, raiding these different stores. It's going to get to the point, because what you see happening with the smash and grab in California and New York and different places, some of that is orchestrated. But that's going to become a trend. And what are they going to say? Out of this chaos, we're going to bring this order. Then they're going to have chaos in these other different parts of life. So what we're leading to, as we see right before our eyes, is the end of Esau's world, man. And it's all synonymous with hella prophecy. Okay, go ahead. Start over.
There's an order though that the Most High is going to set up out of that.
Right. That's right.
That the underdog.
Right.
You know. Right. It's going to catch it.
That's right.
And I just wanted to make a point on that famine stuff. I was watching a news clip earlier today. Right up the street, there's a hotel called the Omni Hotel, and in there's a restaurant, and they just announced that they're going to have to go up on all the menu prices. They were just like, I'm sorry, you know, with the price of food, where we have to go up on our menu prices. We're not making any profits. So that's an example of inflation and how it's affecting businesses,
Right.
industries.
Right.
I just heard of two major like bar clubs that's in Uptown. I was talking with this one commercial real estate guy. They shut down, man. These places that's up in these high end places, part of Dallas, empty because the rent's just too high. They're going up $500, $600, $700 a month on rent. Did it really? Oh, man.
Like a couple of weeks and it was closed. I
That
was
was
like,
a spot, man.
I know I was gonna take a little joint up in there, you know.
Oh. So these things, these prophecies are ringing true, man. You know, like the elder's talking about.
That's right. I'm still like $75 for that. I got a good one. 1 Peter 4:7, it says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. So the end of all things is at hand, and it's talking about the end of this rulership and the beginning of the establishment of the kingdom of heaven. You know?
Something wrong with it?
No, that's good. I'll just make sure everybody
Okay.
in.
I'm gonna go back to Amos 5:18.
Read that Amos.
Amos 5:18, it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Right.
To what end is it for you?
Right. To what end is it for you? Even Jake, who know they're Israelites, talk about the kingdom coming. What end is it for you, man? Right. Go ahead.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Woo!
As if a man did flee from a lion and
Right.
a bear met him.
Right. You get away from the line.
Right.
You close the door. All right, it's a bear in the shower. You like,
Yeah.
think it's not a bear?
Right.
Oh. Then you get away. Then you get away from the bear. You hop in the attic. You crawling in the attic. Shit, dude, woo. Go ahead.
Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall,
Right.
and a serpent bit him.
Right. Or you in the attic, then you
Right.
or you leaning on the wall,
Trying to rest.
thinking you resting. Ooh, it's hot out here. Ah, shit. Right? That's how it's happening to people already. People are getting judged out here. And all judgments ain't physical. Some judgments is the mindset people are in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you be wondering why the Lord allowed this nigga to still be alive. He's a curse. You don't even gotta curse some of these guys.
Right.
Their mindset, they're cursed children. They're a walking curse. The Lord is often due spiritually. He's often people physically. Women are just getting every day
Yeah.
losing. I'm gonna go get me a white man. White man take you on a date. Oh yeah, you talking to him. Yeah, when I was 9, my uncle touched me. Yada yada. This the whole time he envisioned his mom would kill us.
Yeah. Eating that steak raw,
Right.
looking at
her. Yeah. You know, I like Martin. Right? I listen to Screw.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he get your ass drunk, drug you. And that's happening. Eve, I want me a white man. Then you get one. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that forensic file deal.
Have your ass hanging upside down like Batman.
Right.
Unsolved mysteries.
That's happening in the earth. There are spirits being put on people that are created for vengeance. So the best thing to do is fear the Lord. Go ahead.
It says, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?
No brightness. It's not going to be this wee moment. Even for the elect, it's going to be, oh shit.
Right.
And then it's going to be scarcely saved. So the day of the Lord is on a whole nother level than what you people think. And we're here to prophesy it because that's what the prophets do. Prophets stand on their feet and say things that are going to happen before they happen. Okay? Okay.
That happened, but I think you already asked me to who's home.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's Isaiah chapter 5, we start at verse 26. And he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth.
And that's Yahweh Shai. That's what we look to. That's the fringe. That's the covering. Okay? The ensign is what? A sign. A banner. What is the banner? The word. That's fulfilled in Yahweh Shai. And we through looking to him and following in his footsteps, hey, we have a way out. Because this is prison right here. The mind is one prison, then the earth is a prison. And he came to what? Lead captivity captive, man. Go ahead.
It reads, and he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. And behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. Talk about these different nations that are going to be risen up, you know. None shall be weary nor stumble among them. None shall slumber nor sleep. Neither shall the girdle of their loins be loose, nor the latchet of their shoes be broken. Pretty much they're going to be in 100% judgment mode.
Yeah.
Your girdle ain't loose and your latchet on your shoes ain't being broken. You in absolute war mode.
And that's through the word going out. Everybody's moving. All of these. What do you think Russia's doing? All they're doing for? Why do you think there's friction in the Middle East? The prophet spoke that into existence, right? Through the Spirit. That was spoken. The MOTB. All these things were spoken into existence.
Yeah, right now with you got the Winter Olympics going on, and in the midst of the Winter Olympics, China is announcing a digital yuan.
Yeah.
A total shift. And guess what happened today, or really yesterday? Russia announced that they were on board with it. So then some hours later, we get an announcement talking about, oh, Russia's getting ready to invade the Ukraine.
Right. Because they're going to demonize them.
They're saying, oh, they might not even make it through the Winter Olympics before they invade the Ukraine. Now, whether that's true or not, whether it's just American propaganda, because we don't know, you know. But the whole point of it is things are being stirred up through prophecy. You're about to say something?
No, I was showing land bank on also Russia made Bitcoin legal tender.
Yep, they just announced all of that. And so right when they did that, now you have the war propaganda. Because all of these things are tied to each other. The transition of these economies, the hyperinflation squeezing everybody's funds. Now you're starting to see ATMs be removed. It's harder and harder to find an actual active ATM. I pulled up to the bank a couple of days ago, and it had no cash in it. It's like you can deposit, but you can't get nothing.
Pull up to the ATM. Listen to keep sweating.
Yeah.
You got to be twisted.
Yeah.
Shit don't even work.
Yeah.
Rest of the weapon.
No.
Can we talk about
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Trying to get some money out of there.
This shit don't work. God damn.
That's crazy.
Right.
Verse 28. Whose arrows are sharp and all their bows bent, their horses' hooves shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. Their roaring shall be like a lion, they shall roar like young lions. Yea, they shall roar and lay hold of the prey, and shall carry it away safe, and none shall deliver it. Here's the point, verse 30. And in that day they shall roar against them like the roaring of the sea. And if one look into the land, behold darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof.
Yeah. They saying a conflict between Russia and NATO is going to be just basically a digital war with drone aerial attacks.
Right.
You're going to have robots flying over you, bombing you, you know?
Telling you, get your ass in the house.
Yeah, that's hell, man. You know?
Yeah.
Man. That was
Okay, go ahead.
Right. Brother put, Judah the Prince put, no, that's not. Well, let's go. Judah the Prince put 2nd Ezra 9:1, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before.
Told thee before.
Right? All right, so now we're coming back because Ezra wrote this stuff down. Ezra's back, reading these and saying, whoa, you told us this before. Prophesied. It says, therefore thou shalt be seeing earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Okay? I'm sorry, I skipped
There's
verse 2.
earthquakes and uproars of people all over the
Oh,
place.
it's going crazy. Right now, they're blocking the bridge in Canada. That a judge just announced that the trucking protesters in Canada, if you keep protesting, we're gonna lock you up. It's an act of terrorism because they can't move no product in Canada right now, right? And so all the truckers are coming together on this thing about not taking that jab.
this weekend. They're supposed to be like making their way to the Americas so far. Right? We're gonna be having these little
Super
coalitions.
Bowl weekend might be lit. Okay?
Yeah.
Literally.
And there's a lot of agent provocateurs amongst these movements.
Oh man.
Okay, amongst these movements, there's sincere, concern. You got agents,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That are going to start to do things
Yeah.
so that they can what? Unrighteous decrees. Because what did Esau just pass? we were reading it. Ultimately, if you speak against what they got going on, you're a terrorist.
Yep.
Right after the Joe Rogan, which they're all working. They're used to do what? Invoke ideas into people's minds, arguments.
Yep.
They set these people up to do controversial things, sensationalism, and then what came right afterwards? It was ultimately they were coming at free speech, man. That's what they're trying to shut off what you have to say.
When it started with Trump, pretty much.
Yeah, Trump. That's all. He was a pawn, and he wasn't. Come on now. He's against the deep state, but he funds Israel. I mean, he bowed down to them.
Being part of it, Joe.
Right, hanging out with Epstein.
Yeah, high level witchcraft.
Yeah, he's just a rook.
Right.
Or pawn on the chessboard.
But they're full of demons, and they got spirits on them, and they get in people's. Really look to these figures. So there's people who really have concerns out marching and crying and screaming.
Yeah.
But there's going to be an agent amongst them, Esau set up for that whole purpose.
Yeah.
That's going to do something.
Yeah. They pull up, they like the truckers on the bridge.
Right.
They'll have the truckers on the bridge. And then one truck just blow up.
Right.
Have a bombing.
They were warning about that too in the Canadian protests. It's like if you see anybody doing anything, crazy or just pushing, some rhetoric that's, inflammatory. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you report it.
Right.
But like you guys are saying, due to the NAFTA agreement,
Right.
there's a lot of truckers that go to Canada, go back and forth.
Right.
So that's going to affect people here in America.
Right.
Esau's losing the war. He's being destroyed spiritually, so he needs those enchantments out there, man. He got to hurry up. So he's been the claw, scratch, kick. So that's going to come with a lot of wickedness, deception, in order to establish order on earth.
Right. This is back in 2nd Ezra 9:2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. The prophecies is the Most High's word going out. Is what's pushing forward the spirit of these perils that are coming to the world. Okay?
And even Enoch spoke of this day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've been talking about this day.
That's right. And if the Spirit is with you, this should invoke fear of the Most High.
Right.
Fear of the Most High produces what? Obedience to His will. And so you're going to have a small group of people that start to say, you know what? I don't want to be caught up in all that. How do I be saved? Okay? This announcement, this trumpet being blown right now, is going to have some people that are in the Spirit run into the tower of the name of the Lord for protection. Everybody else is going to be caught up in the thief of the night.
Right. Like at the time of the flood. That's why the Lord said, as the days of Noah were, so shall be the days before I come. And we see it.
Right? It's a spiritual ark being built, and you're a part of it when you tune in and you take hold and you confess and repent and be a part of this association, right?
I seen a picture online that said it wasn't raining. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't raining when he built the ark.
Yeah.
So
Birds
I mean,
chirping.
hey, you know what I mean? Hey, you spiritually prepped, man. You know?
Right. It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the beginning that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end,
Right.
and the end is manifest.
So every empire came and went. Right. But you under the thought that America's going to go forever, you crazy. And clearly the end is manifest. Clearly this place is decaying. Moral decay is the first sign of the end of this age. Where a boy is confused on what a boy is and a girl is confused on what a girl is. And that's culture.
Yeah.
That's the beginning stages of the decline of any empire.
Well, that's crazy. That's one of the things Joe Rogan was been talking about.
Right.
He's been talking a lot about the end of this empire.
Right.
And the signs of the end of this empire, the financial system, you know?
And they censored him.
Yeah.
They censored him because he had a thought. He had a different, and that's what America was so-called built upon, right? right? Your freedom of speech. That's what made America so great. But now all of a sudden, you can't have your own opinion.
Okay.
Because what they're doing is systematically getting to a particular message that they want to stop. And that's this right here. Right. Because everything these people are saying in some shape, form, or fashion, we say it according to the scriptures.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. Absolutely.
We say America's Rome. Before Rome fell, what were they doing? There was decadence, confusion on sex.
Money was being devalued.
Yep.
The infrastructure was failing at that time.
Yep. And we can go into Revelation and show you that's what it said was going to happen. Go ahead.
Isaiah 29, starting 18, points to 21. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness.
And that's the elect.
Yeah.
Okay? We were blind. Look at yourself before you knew what you knew, how you thought. You were in complete darkness. It's a miracle that you're able to see.
The meek also shall increase their joy in the Lord Yahweh, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel.
And that's how this system was built upon the poor of the earth, the Israelites. But he banked on us remaining stupid, right? Because that's what really drives this whole beast system is Jake's ignorance. That's what drives the whole world, pretty much. Jake being dumb and out of sync, the heathen win.
I was separated from my power,
They win. All right, go ahead.
For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed.
Right, so our awakening is synonymous with the Esau being outed.
Right.
It goes hand in hand prophetically. Okay, when we wake up, that would be around the time that the wicked would be revealed. So what you're seeing is him like, shit, it ain't working, this ain't working. Let's figure this out, let's figure that out. And it's about to start getting more and more, I mean, it's blatant, but it's going to be, bodies going to start dropping.
Yep. They want to make you feel like this is insignificant. This what's happening right here, just right now in this place in Dallas, streaming, is significant. And no matter how much they want to mock and downplay, they're moving in the background as if it's significant.
Yep.
They'll tell you you're insignificant, but meanwhile, they're making plans, man.
And that's witchcraft. That's a part of witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Making the other person feel insignificant. You know what I'm saying? You have women that do the same thing. For years, we've been trying to be esteemed by women. But lo and behold, they in fact envy us. They want to be us. They want our powers. But they make the media and things that make you seem as if you're superfluous, easily replaced. Right. Which is the same ideology that Esau has.
Turning things upside down.
Yep.
Okay.
Real quick. Jeremiah 50 and 43. The king of Babylon have heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail.
Yeah.
Straits.
You listen to Charles Schwab speak, he's like, we need to, he basically said, we need to hurry up. We got to get more prepared for a more angry world. We must move forward with this reset. You know, they're literally saying that word, like that's what he was saying.
Hopefully so.
Yeah, we got to hurry up.
They're calling onto these gods. There's a lot of left-hand energy going on in the earth. If you're looking at it with a spiritual eye, there's a lot of sacrifices going on. When you read the book of Kings, when the king of Moab was losing the war, what did he do? He immediately sacrificed his oldest son. For what? To try to get in favor with his God. So what do you think they're doing right now? They're in straits. The scripture said in the fullness of his sufficiency, when he's about to accomplish quantifying carbon. How do you quantify carbon? When he's about to fill his belly and get full domination of the Lord's creation to where there's no way out, the Lord is going to stop him. And that's what Paul Schwab is, what he wants. He wants a fourth industrial revolution. And what does that require? Man be merged with technology. We'll say it like that. So they gotta figure out a way to justify. Okay, we gotta figure out a way to justify bringing down such strict orders. That's where they at. And we gotta figure out how to detach what we doing from what's written in Revelation 13. Yep. Gotta convince them of that. Go ahead.
Rapa Ariel 144 put Isaiah 19 and 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And that's what they're doing, man. They're mounting and conjuring up all types of satanic energy, and they're moving. They want to move forward on this enterprise. Now, we told y'all before Biden got in that it was going to get real freaky
And strict
underneath his rulership. And look at it, man.
Wait, what? His newly ordained, for lack of better words, nuclear director is a damn homosexual that's in the bestiality.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Literally, yeah. Like
Say
pictures
Mo.
of him.
Say
Yeah, Mo.
Oh, excuse me,
Mo.
Mo that's in the bestiality. You know, known for having sex with animals and all kinds of stuff. Pictures of him with men on leashes is like literally a nuclear director. Though.
Yeah, he got the.
What does that mean? That's letting you know demons are being summoned.
Exactly, man.
Wicked activity is happening on the left hand, man. And you feel it. And they're trying to counteract because what we're saying is coming true. So they'll put it in their cartoon and say, "I said it, dude." It's likened unto what Pharaoh did when Aaron threw down his stick and it turned into a serpent. Pharaoh tried to, he did the same thing. So what they're doing is they're trying to act like we're in control of what's happening in the earth. See, told you. But they say it in books and cartoons and movies. Right? That's their way of telling you and being they're free from guilt. Totally. That's how they work.
Back in Isaiah 29 and 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off.
Everybody. All of these wicked people. But it started with Esau, but through him being cast down, wicked people are played the hell out now. Like wicked people with wicked ulterior motives, stupid ass scorners, like gossip niggas. Niggas that just get on the internet and make money off of gossiping all day. It's getting cut to naught. Those type of people are starting to be cut off, man.
Yeah. Like the one lady talking noise about taking the jab and how Jesus is with me. Wow, busted her head open, man. Most High is judging people that are talking against the spirit of truth, man.
Right.
That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate.
And it's all synonymous. See how it started with Israel waking up, the blind seeing, leading to the scorner being cursed out, basically exposed. Then he make you an offender for it. He's making exposing him illegal.
Right.
Ain't that some shit? I'm gonna make exposing my wickedness illegal.
Yes, great.
But they're using all of these bullshit reasonings to do it.
Yeah.
Heightening your sensitivity to particular topics, then all of a sudden the law will come. Wait a minute. Now I'm a terrorist. If I don't want particular things in me, like, damn, you point out the root of your neck. Right. It's a knife in my side, and if I say it's a knife in my side, I'm wicked. I'm crazy. You're gonna make it illegal for me to say it's a knife right here. Go ahead.
Isaiah 59 and 14, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is falling in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey, and Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. Well, the Most High sees everything that's going on, you know what I'm saying? That his judgment, his righteousness is not flourishing on earth. So he's putting the spirit on Esau Edom to turn it up.
Turn it up.
Right? And with him turning it up, all chaos breaking loose, guess what? As crazy as that sounds to a new believer, we're looking for that. Because we know that that's a huge indicator that Yahweh Shai's turn. He told us that it's coming, right? And right now we understand by prophecy that we're at the beginning. Right? That Saquon just brought out, you know what I'm saying, earthquakes in diverse places. And we went through a number of examples of uproars of the people. So we understand by prophecy that we're coming into those times, man, that we've been prophesying for 10 years,
Right.
15 years, man. Hey, if you just got in 6 months.
Right. The apostles going back in the
Apostles further, man. So it's going all the way down.
Yep. Psalm 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
When you listen to what the heathen are boasting in, we got a sun. We got our own sun. We're going to bomb the moon. One of our spaceships might crash into the moon in March.
Yeah.
The things that they're saying, we're going to merge. We're going to use the Lord's creation as guinea pigs to bring forth our accomplishment. They're using rats, roaches, humans, for all of these different,
Synthetic wounds.
Yeah, synthetic wombs. These are what? The heathen lifting up their head. Okay? And they all are invested in this damn beast system. But they're split on who's gonna get what. But even Moab, they're fighting for the MOTB as well. Their elites are invested in that shit as well. If anything, they're ahead. Right, go ahead.
Okay, I want to get a couple words in this first verse. That word rage in the Hebrew is ragash. And it says to be in a tumult or commotion, to conspire or to plot. So the heathen they're plotting. You know, behind the scenes, ultimately they're plotting to try to fight against the Lord and try to cut off the nation of Israel. Because when you read in Isaiah 29, as you read, it said that what? They make a man an offender for a word, and him that rebuketh in the gate. Who's the one rebuking in the gate?
Right.
The prophets. All this stuff is really aimed ultimately at getting the prophets off the streets. But when he tries to do that, it's prophecy being fulfilled for the family of the word to commence.
Yeah.
So the Lord is making these chess moves happen for prophecy to be fulfilled at the end of the day. Right? So that word, I got that word rage, and I wanted to get that word imagine. That word imagine is agah, okay? And that word imagine here says to satirize, like satirize, like a satire, something that's what, like fake news, if you will.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Propaganda.
Propaganda.
Yep. And that's when you see the news, it is a satire. And for you people on the comment board, if somebody put up the definition of satire on the comment board, that's what they're doing, man. They imagine things,
I got the definition here.
Let's go, champ.
It says derived and criticized by means of a satire.
Yeah.
It's common. Yeah.
That's what they do to the Israelite movement, man. They make it a movie, make you seem like it's just over the top, And then, like you said, there's agents actually being put out in the streets to pretend to be Israelites. And they make a satire of the truth going out, man.
Right. Yep. They make it a mockery, yeah.
It's like one group trying to preach on our spot now.
Right.
You watch them, it's like,
What is this?
it looks fake. Look it out! That's right! You're like, too long, that's right. You're like, come on, man.
Keep the tone.
You know?
A lot of that shit is Esau set up a lot of these things, man. Because you listen to the arguments. There ain't no miracles, ain't no chariots. It's like, why would you become an Israelite to say that?
Right.
Yeah, you clearly are being told like you're set up. A lot of them are cops. And don't you think for 1 minute Esau ain't doing that? It's the end of his world. You don't think he gonna do that, bro?
Yeah. You don't think he'll fund a fake Israelite group to go out there and yell?
And Esau can make it to where it's fake comments. A lot of these people on comments, some of them don't be real.
Yeah.
And they can comment with all APTTM,
Yeah.
It can be set to put that on particular videos, and it can be thousands of them, and you'll be like, oh, this dude is it. Everybody listening to him.
Yeah.
Esau is a mastermind.
Yeah.
100%. You think it's just vocab Malone that's
man.
ridiculous down in his basement on the chalkboard, recording every time a brother get into a camp?
Right.
It ain't just vocab doing that. He's one of many.
Yep.
I read it again. Psalm 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Our strength, our connection with the Most High.
That's what they're trying. That's why I'm sorry.
Oh, you got it.
That's why they're trying to disband these various camps with disinformation.
Right.
That's why you got outlandish groups. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say like One Body coming out here ripping and raving. Right. That was all for a show. And it's very ironic that he said satire of an example of a satire would be like Boys in the Hood. Not Boys in the Hood, but don't drink your minutes.
Don't be a minute.
Yeah, don't be a minute. That's a
That shit's
satire.
funny. Yeah.
It's making fun of what?
Yeah.
All those black movies that came out in so-called black culture. Well, they're doing it in our face by tell these guys, that's right.
Right,
Come on.
get a microphone.
Get a microphone.
And any sister that walk by, sister, you know your God. Sister, let me talk to you for a minute.
Bro, I thought he was gonna have a heart attack. Bro.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, man, and that's why they're trying to get the females. Say, if you want to get a club popping, who you need to get up in there?
Oh,
Get with it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about numbers for these guys.
That was
A lot of it ain't real. Go ahead.
I get this in Isaiah 32, and I'll start at verse 4. It says, the heart also of the rash shall...
Like before the end, like you gonna tell Israel, ain't no, the Lord didn't do no miracles. Like right before the end, that's your message. Like, come on, bro.
the Christians believe that.
Right.
Christians believe that the Lord did a miracle.
Exactly.
Alexander the Great was in Israel.
Yeah, Alex, he said, I forgot about that. Yeah, One Body Dallas, right? They teach that Alexander the Great, all of the Greeks were Israelites. The like Antipater, the Idumean, all of them Israelites. All Israel, the Herodians.
Wow.
Now there were Jakes who were called Greeks. But damn, there's something that's going on there. Like, what are you? Why would you? Who's teaching that?
That's awful.
So the beast system started with the Israelites, but it's going to fall and Israelites are going to reign.
He said the red dragon in the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter, pretty much is Jake. If you said Herod is Jake, yeah. When you read Revelation 12, don't it say it describes the red dragon as synonymous with what Herod did? That's wrong.
Revelation 13.
That's not Jake. That wasn't talking about Jake coming after the Messiah to slew him. That's Esau, bro. But where did they come? Who said? Yeah, where did that come from? Nobody ever said that.
You had that one brother in that camp that said that we don't need to wait on Yahweh shop. We need to come together and build.
Right. So this is these gotta be agents.
The agents, bro.
That's not real. Like
That's
screaming like that and going to people out. Not gonna hit. No, hey, you need to calm the hell down. You need to repent. Repent, motherfucker. Knock down your door.
With the microphone.
Right.
Yeah, with the microphone.
Grandma looking
Like Kool-Aid
chicken.
Man.
Like, bro, what are you doing? That's something's not right there. You gotta sit there and think. That's a mocking. Like, that's Esau. Like,
Yeah, bro, and then it's just like what y'all said. They talk all this noise about Great Millstone,
Right.
but they keep following us around, man. Oh, bro, they know where we preach. This block right here is famous through the work and through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, through us, man.
Yeah.
Over 10 years of work.
14
Scripture.
overall, because we
That's right.
started over there. Were they preaching at
They
now?
followed us over there.
We were in those areas preaching already.
We went to Fair Park. They followed us over there.
At the end of the day, it's Esau shit. But what we're saying is, stop, nigga.
Yeah, bro, it's
The
tactical.
scriptures speak against building up on another man's
Yeah,
foundation.
pull it.
But at the end of the day, the left hand is getting ready to make a move.
That's right.
That's a play on the left hand. They go preach right there, screaming. They got the microphone. Well, the left hand is operating. That's all. So you just gotta heighten it up. We really, I mean, technically, fuck it. You go beat it. Just don't beat it when we here. But you're gonna lose because you're not real.
That's right.
You're not real, and that's wicked. If I knew you preach somewhere, I mean, purposely just set up right there and preach a whole different message with a microphone speaking at you. Bullshit. Fringes and a microphone saying the Lord didn't perform any miracles. Going off. But anyway, go ahead.
Isaiah 32:5, it says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal.
Start off. Verse.
I'll start at 3 or 4. It says, the heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge.
See that? Who's that? Israel. So when Israel wakes up, what happens? Go ahead.
And the tongue of the stammerer shall be ready to speak plainly.
Right, and with stammering lips mean mocking. Like Jake loves talking shit. Even the way we teach, it's in a, you know, buffoon, like Apostle R, like Jake is a buffoon. Like Jake is just funny. You know, they would naturally have a way about it. But the Lord would use that energy to bring the word out.
Right.
Yeah. Foolish. Go ahead.
The vile person shall no more be called liberal.
As soon as Jake wake up, Esau gets exposed. That's what the blessing of Judah, what did it say? Bring him to his brethren. Judah went out there preaching, starting with Abba Bivens, and that lit a fire. That lit a fire, man. And what happened? Now all of the tribes are awakening. Go ahead.
It says, nor the churl said to be bountiful.
Right. Read that one part again before that.
Verse 5. It says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful.
Right. Biden. He's not bountiful. No one's looking at him like he's bringing anything good to the earth.
Probably Jake that voted against him. They changed their mind now.
Yeah, Jake is like, I mean, we made a mistake. Let me hold this L. Then now this nigga done gave you free crack pipes.
Yeah, that's it.
And we thought that was a joke. We was like, is this? When I first saw it, I was like, I'm not gonna do a video on this.
I was like, that's fake news.
That's fake. Come on now. He's the devil, but
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
damn. And it's true. He don't give a damn. He said, we gonna spend $30 million instead of putting into the communities, right? He gonna put $30 million into some goddamn crack pipes. And they probably got Biden Harris on the crack pipe.
Right. Re-election campaign, baby.
Right.
20 on fire.
That's it. Hey, they want some reparations, though.
Right. They want reparations.
We know he smoked crack.
Right.
That's exactly what they was.
Open mocking.
That's right. That's right.
That's it.
Wow.
That's what that is for sure. Gas prices.
It says, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity.
Right. So through this message, people are starting to look at Esau. Even when we came on the scene, you had that Illuminati spirit, but people started to think on a higher level and say, wait a minute, and put two and two together and even make $1 million platforms. The manosphere, the red pill community. The apostles started that, man.
Yeah, 100%.
It was only Sergeant Willie P. That was the only dude on YouTube talking about women.
Deep, like 7.
Then he got mad at us, y'all a little bit too hard on him. The spirit of all of these dudes doing these channels, that started with the apostles, man. Confront telling women about themselves openly on the internet. You know, because coming out of that 90s, 2000, early 2000 simp, I'll give you the moon, the river, and the stars, I'll do anything.
Yeah, what about checking on?
What if a woman, you know, like, well, Joe, you listen to Joe, you just get into it with your woman, you so-called cheat, and she take you back, and then Joe comes on. What if a woman, nigga, no.
Shaheen, you can have
You
it.
stupid ass nigga. No. You put that energy in the air.
Maybe I deserve.
Maybe I deserve.
Yeah. And that's horrible right there.
I deserve for you to go get on your knees and please another man. Because I please another woman. Get your dumb ass out of here, man.
Yeah, that shit's played.
That's a crazy.
That shit's crazy. That so we was coming out of that simp stage. Because men, you know, they were just soft and begging and screaming all damn day. You know? Yeah. Ooh, yeah. That spirit.
So, like 36.
So around 2004 or 5, that's when shit started to. But in 2007, that's when the apostles got on the internet. That manly spirit returned, man.
That's why the spirit, when you started the camp, element,
Right.
y'all named the camp.
Man up, Jacob. Yep. The street preaching wasn't a thing. In a lot of the states where these brothers are preaching, that great millstone camps put that spirit out there.
Yes, true.
Wasn't nobody preaching in a lot of these. Preaching was an East Coast, Philly,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe-
On the
maybe
street,
LA.
maybe LA.
Venice Beach.
You may have had some jakes who had a bit on me spirit on them here and there,
Yeah.
walking through the mall with t-shirts.
Yes.
You know, you might have seen that. But preaching on the streets in a lot of these cities where brothers are set up, where Great Millstone started, that wasn't happening before then. Texas.
Yeah.
Nobody was out in Texas. You goddamn brother. That wasn't happening until under the apostles and elders of Great Millstone start preaching. We went out there.
I was surprised when I ran into y'all.
Street preaching started ultimately under the banner of Great Millstone, pushing the word out there.
School of the Prophets.
School of the Prophets, man. In all of these states. Now everybody doing it. But they want to undermine the men that the Lord used to kick this thing off hardcore, man.
I got
That's a nigga for you, man.
Yeah, they say that they follow the law.
Right.
You're not supposed to respect the elders.
Right. And but you had other camps too, don't get it twisted. Rakav GOCC was there. Nate was there, but he was lukewarm. Zabak was always there. He's always preaching. That's one thing you got to give Zabak. He's constantly preaching. He's been preaching for a long time. And that's an honorable thing to do. Right? Go ahead.
Acts chapter 17. I'm going to start at 12. I'm going to read quickly. Acts 17 and 12. Therefore, many of them believed also of honorable women.
But you got to get it right. You got to get it right too.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Which were Greeks and of men, not a few. But when the Jews of Thessalonica had knowledge that the word of the Most High was preached of Paul of Berea, they came thither also and stirred up the people.
They came to stir him up.
They came, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then immediately the brethren sent away Paul to go, as it were, to the sea, but Silas and Timotheus abode there still. And they that conducted Paul brought him unto Athens, and receiving a commandment unto Silas and Timotheus.
Friction.
You know?
The Lord, there's controversies all throughout the Bible.
Right.
So when you see controversy as an Israelite, you got to get out of that spirit. This ain't of them. Why is it though? Why they got to be going back and forth? I mean, damn. And there's other videos Jake can click on. But they click on the controversial stuff and then complain.
Yeah.
Click on the stuff that don't have a controversial title in it.
Yeah, what about the ones where we're going through the history of ancient Greece?
Right.
Right.
What about the ones where we're going through the history of the temple and everything in the temple
In the
and,
news.
how it relates to Yahushua?
No.
Have you clicked on those yet? Or is
Right.
it too boring? The reincarnation breakdown videos.
Right.
Have you watched those and take notes? No, you just click if it say woman,
Right.
you know,
Or this camp, or yeah.
or if we ever
other
have the
camp.
name of a camp. That's the ones you click on and then you complain. Okay? But that's okay. That was just, it's just meant to stir up the
Right,
spirit.
and that's how the Lord wants it.
Right.
That's
There's
right.
always been controversy. The whole Yahushua's whole walk was filled with controversy.
Oh, yeah.
And we're supposed to walk in his shoes, and there's not going to be any controversy between the men of the Lord. There's going to be different opinions, different doctrines, and all of these things are going to be beaten into powder by the truth, according to the Bible, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh, man. Okay.
This is back in Acts 17. I'll get it. And 15. And they that conducted Paul brought him unto Athens, and receiving a commandment unto Silas and Timotheus for to come to him with all speed, they departed. Now, while Paul awaited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred up in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry.
Right. Same way we see it here.
That's right. Therefore disputed he in the synagogues with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him.
Right, and you have those same people here today, the conscious community. Jake that's into all these different philosophies, Shaka Amos, Polite, Sarnetter. They come with their rhetoric. And if you notice, they popped up too. Now, Sarnetter had been doing his thing, but they started coming hardcore against the Hebrew Israelites around right at around 2008. Once they seen it happen, you started to see Polite pops up.
So yeah, they're like, what?
Right. 2009.
Right.
Want to debate the Hebrews.
They're nothing but leeches.
Leeches.
It said, and some said, what will this babbler say? Others he seemeth to be a setter forth of strange gods, because he preached unto them Yahushua and the resurrection. And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is? Right? And for thou bringest certain strange things to our ears, we would know, therefore, what these things mean. Okay? So, bro, the Spirit is coming back out again to go out on the highways and push the Spirit of Yahweh Shem shop. People what? They're clicking, they're asking questions, they're arguing, they're going back and forth. You know? The Romans are now starting to hear about it, so now they're creating, they're like, okay, who these guys? Yeah. They're having to create a whole Hebrew department.
Yeah.
You know? They're funding Jake just like they did then, man. All right? You got people coming fronting like they down. Same thing that was happening in the book of Acts is happening now. Okay?
Finish that.
Back in Isaiah 32:6, it says, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord.
And that's all this so-called science is about. Uttering error against the Lord, man. Speaking villainy, hypocrisy. And they're going to scare the world into accepting it.
Yep.
Because everybody knows this dude's full of shit.
Right.
Everybody knows. Go ahead.
It says to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
Right. And see, he thinks he's causing it to fail, but he's going to fulfill prophecy. Right. When he uses his propaganda, because he's losing the info war. That's one thing Alex Jones did get right. And he'd be right on other stuff, but I believe he's controlled out. But he got it right that there's an info war. Ultimately, Esau is fighting up against all of the accusations, all of what's being exposed, his true intent being put out there, his history. The internet now can record his wickedness. You can constantly play it back. He can't hide from being an Edomite no more. Exactly. To the point now, certain preachers and scholars, who is an Edomite?
Yeah, who's Esau?
Who's Esau? They ain't talking about that before the Israelites came on the scene.
You put white man in Google and it's gonna fill it in, is the devil.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So we're living in the age where the wicked is being revealed, but it's synonymous with the Israelites waking up.
Right.
And that's what he's trying to work his way around. Damn. How am I going to get around the fact that what I'm doing is literally what they saying I'm going to do?
Yeah.
And that's a fight that he's going to try to fight and deceive people out of believing the truth. Go ahead.
Two verses. Job 5:12, it says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. And that's what's happening right now through this truth, man. It's like a juggernaut. The more that Esau tries to fight to basically cover up the truth, the more that the truth is being exposed, the more that it's spread like wildfire, you know?
And he know not to put us on the news.
Oh, yeah.
Not us. The apostles,
Oh, yeah.
the great, if they put us, it's over.
The more they try to suppress it, the more bigger this thing gets, man.
They'll put a little clip here and there, but to let us talk on the news
Make the point.
and make the point, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Right.
Even Edomites who know, like, they hate us and everything, they'll stop and listen to us, and they'll be like, it makes sense.
It makes sense, baby.
Because America was founded upon what? Uprooting themselves from up under oppression.
Right.
The British, right?
British tyranny, yeah.
Yeah. So how are you going to say somebody with that same ideology, not in the sense of war, but what happened to us as Israelites, to say there's a better day coming, you're going to pay for what you did? So you can uproot from under oppression and celebrate it, but we can't try it. In the spirit, man. You're the devil.
That shows he's a vagabond and a fugitive from justice, going back to Cain, too. You know?
Yeah.
Because a fugitive, he's always on the run trying to avoid the charges and being brought to justice, you know?
Nigga got a job as a whole nother person. This nigga, he don't want nobody to find him out.
Right, exactly.
Go ahead.
Back in Isaiah 32:7, it says, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
Right, setting up false camps. That's going to be a way that he's going to accuse the truth. Watch. These camps, your ISUPKs, your IUICs, they're going to be used as pawns in the devil's game.
The damn demons that be out on the
Right.
block.
Well, especially if you sign that 501c3, you're going to have to play by particular rules. And see, that's the last thing you want to be, is signed on in contract with the devil right now, as pertaining to the truth. Now, if you have a 501c3 on your kickball team, your baseball team, okay, that may be cool. That may work out for you. Got a little business, okay. But when it comes to the truth being linked to a 501c3, that is the worst mistake that you could have made.
Yep. And you're only doing that for benefits.
Right.
You're becoming a 501c3 for benefits, for access to benefits, grants or tax, deductions, whatever. Okay. And so now you're in league with your enemy. And you don't think they're gonna come back and be like, oh yeah, you remember you signed this, right?
Right. You need to send one of your representatives to this march and have them preaching here at this time. They're going to confront the alphabet group that walks by. Watch. That's how Esau worked.
Yeah. And the congregation don't know. They don't really understand that these meetings are going on with the head, with the leaders. Y'all think it's ridiculous. But then you watch Esau do all this.
Right.
But that's ridiculous. No, man.
Well, I mean, the Judas and the Black Messiah. What happened to Fred Hampton? They showed you what they're capable of doing. He was there. He was down.
Yep.
In the mix.
Yeah.
Doing shit like when he went on top of the roof and just shot out the window, and that gave them the go-ahead to just. But somehow his ass don't die.
Yeah.
He at the next rally. Like, how? Wait a minute. They shut up all of the Panthers. So how the fuck you alive? Yeah. So yeah, Esau got his hand in a lot that's going on. Go ahead.
I'm going to read 7 again. Isaiah 32:7. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right.
Woo! Even when we talk right. First they say all you do is talk about being a pimp, a gangster, a hustler, I'm a bad bitch. So we say, you know what? We're going to change it. We're Israelites. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We can't do shit.
Right.
Right.
Change their life.
Yeah, you tell you, even when the needy speak it right, it's a problem.
Yeah.
After what happened unto us.
So why are you only speaking to this group?
Right.
It's always something, man.
This man is the absolute devil, man. And anyone who trusts him and don't think that he's working wickedness in Israel and all of that, you don't know where the hell you at.
Amos chapter 5, verse 12, for I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins. They afflict the just, they take a bribe, and they turn aside the poor in the gate from their right.
Wow.
Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time.
The prudent shall keep silent, meaning the Lord is going to allow Esau to pass legislation to where this is illegal. Right? What we're doing is going to be considered illegal. And what they're going to do is they're going to take all of the real videos and camps down. Your representation of what an Israelite is going to be from a very watered down, and that's the answer. You're going to be like, oh my God, what's going on? Why is the stock market? What am I supposed to do? You go click on one body page, and they're going to be telling you ain't no miracle. The Yahweh didn't do no miracle. What the hell are you going to do with that information? At that time. I got bad news, Israel. Ain't no miracle coming for you. Ain't no chariot when you need a chariot. How the hell you gonna get out of this? You need to go up. How you gonna get out of this? We need like something to like a miracle is what we need. So how the hell you gonna teach ain't no miracles, man? Like what are you doing? See, them red beans was the last miracle he needed. He tasted them red beans. He said, "Oh my goodness, who made these beans? Who made them? Linda, you made these goddamn beans? And that was it for him. That's the only miracle he needed to see. Now ain't no more miracles. Cornbread and beans with sugar.
Yes.
Bishop Jephthah, man. It's a big country nigga, man. And you should repent. Go ahead. That's too much right there. No miracles. Go ahead.
So Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 14, speaking about what the wicked, speaking about the righteous, it says, he was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's, his ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
Right.
He abstains from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounces the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh is his father.
Right. The sons of God. And our mindset is contrary to their mindset. And the Lord set it up that way. And it's playing out. You know?
I'll take one out.
Just one on a comment for it, I'll read.
The kingdom is dead. Proverbs 4 and 16, it says, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall.
And you know, Esau has a hard on to taint things. Pure things, he loves to taint it. So what do you think he's going to try to do to the virgin? We're going to have to be numbered amongst the transgressors. We're going to have faith. The Lord is going he knew how to, like he said about Lot, he knew how to take that one just man from amongst all of the filth. We're going to be numbered among, they're going to equate all of us Israelites. You ain't going to be, see, that's when that rape thing going to turn on y'all. Y'all kept talking about rape, well, they're going to start putting, it's going to turn on you.
Yeah.
But they're going to put us all in one bag. They're going to show the most craziest thing with a microphone, kiss my boot, Israelite, all of that.
Yep.
Joy Morgan, all of that stuff is going to be brought back to the forefront. And they're going to be like, look at these niggas. These are savages. This is another boogeyman we must conquer.
That's terrorism.
Even GMS, old GMS clips. 'Cause it took a period of the word being refined. Yeah, we were rough around, you know. So hey, he coming with it. Go
We
ahead.
were young when we came in, young, hot, angry, you know, still building. Okay. Was that it on Brother Hand?
Yeah.
Was it? That's all. This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction,
Right.
and castest my words behind thee.
Right. You're the chosen people. Yet look at the filth that you have going on in the earth. And you have the influence, the monetary means to influence the world in a way of the Most High. Do you do that? Hell no. All of these biblical stories, and you just write one or two and put a bunch of lies in it. If the true chosen people of the Lord were ruling this earth, every movie, we would have some other stuff too, but every movie would be about the Israelites.
Right.
History. That's enough. Right, they're the superheroes.
That's what you do, you know?
That's all you really need to talk about. You can make cartoons based on them.
Yep.
Movies will be
The
based
Adventures of
upon,
Sam
yeah.
Jones. Right?
Not porn every goddamn word.
Yeah.
Every goddamn word. With the chosen people ruling, no. That's how you know we're in Egypt, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, over 6 months, right? Psalm 50:17, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee, when thou sawest the thief, then thou consentest with him.
Right. When you saw a pedophile, you passed legislation and laws that he can get off and sweep his crimes under the rug. You stole when someone stole, you helped steal more, and you infiltrated and became and took over his stealing. Now you the top thief. Go ahead.
And has been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit.
Man, the news, everything is deceit. Everything is deception. everything, the movies, everything, but the Lord got him in that spirit, man. Go ahead.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Within the system of Edomite supremacy, there's a doctrine, whether knowingly or unknowingly, that people hold to according to what you are. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, when somebody sees us, they automatically
There's a thought that's been embedded.
it's embedded. Ugh. What is he gonna steal? You know what I'm saying?
You got like that clip of Jim Jones in the Gucci store.
Yeah.
Jim Jones in the Gucci store spending $29,000. You know, when you start to spend that much money in Louis Vuitton or Gucci, you get a personal attendant. You get put in the VIP section. They take you. They show you the whole exclusive things. You're supposed to get treated like you're finna spend $29,000. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Ross. Goddamn. You know. So,
TJ Maxx.
bro, he's just in there sitting, bro. They ain't bring. You still a nigga at the end of the day. We don't care about your $29,000. You still have that image of him. He's just a thug. He's just, you know. So that idea has been put out there. How much more so they gonna do it for the brothers out here teaching? They gonna go hard body and making sure you look at like scum as scum of the earth,
You
man.
got a lot of tricks coming.
You know?
You got to prepare yourself mentally, because you got to be rooted through it all. There's gonna be some lies. They're gonna manipulate. Watch.
They gonna brand. You ain't seen nothing yet. That heat's gonna be brought, you know. Okay. Psalms 50 and 21. These things thou hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such and one as thyself. Right? Just because there's been this short period of time, right, where Esau's been able to rule, dictate, you know, blow up the spot, so to speak.
Have his way.
Have his way with our people. Okay? So it manifests destiny. Yeah, evolution caused this. I must have been the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Clearly, Jesus loves me.
Yeah, clearly. Jesus loves me. Right. But what the pride coming before a fall.
That's right.
Right?
Real quick. Isaiah 47:7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither did you think or remember the latter end of it.
Right, you got to keep reading on that.
Okay?
Yeah, you didn't remember, man. The Most High is the one that put you up, and He's going to set you down.
That's right.
Okay?
And that's the way he's ruled the earth. He didn't think about the end result.
Yeah.
How is this Monsanto, all this stuff, how is it going to affect the earth years on down the line? How is putting, you know, those ceramic, what do the DuPonts do? Those different pots. Ceramic pot. Like, he just did it.
Yeah,
I can make money, you know what I'm saying? He didn't think on down the line. Well, some of them, sometimes they do think on down the line. But what they're doing to the earth and how they rule and operate, it's not based upon, like damn.
But yeah, like life.
What do you do?
They'd rather do it fast and destroy than do it take the long route and for your kids to be all right. He don't care about your kids. We're gonna do this now because it's better. You won't surely die. Hush.
Very impulsive, like the forefather Esau.
Yeah.
He disregarded his birthright for instant gratification. And that's the same mindset that's you see perpetuated here. Wisdom of Solomon, 5th chapter 9.
Right. He couldn't even wait. He couldn't even wait for the food to get done. He gave away his the birthright just because he was hungry. Like, that's a horrible. Now he run the world. Somebody that would make that decision now runs the world.
So everything.
That's horrible. So what do you think he's going to do when he rules the earth? You want me to keep reading? Isaiah 47:8. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly.
Yeah, man, this careless, decadent, immoral society. No one's thinking about how what they do is affecting the earth long term, you know? And then they use healing the world and green energy for a measure of control. I know how we'll get them now, since we done polluted every damn thing. Let's blame them.
The original people who started that one of those movements, green something, left because it became corrupted. It's like, this ain't what we started this for. You're using this to enslave people. Like that whole global warming, like to help to save the earth is really a means to track every goddamn thing, every breath you take. Track it to be on a grid.
They want every breath you take. Track. It sounds ridiculous, but they're actually doing it.
Yes, not a game.
Yeah.
5G.
Yeah. Like I was talking about that new app that they got. Yeah, Klarna. It's tracking all your CO2 emissions, right? Go ahead.
It says, "Thou sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. Me. I'm the one. I created this.
Yeah.
I got a son. I got my own son. I went to the moon.
I just had the thought, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, when these nuclear missiles get shot off and the sun gets blocked out, that's what they want to try to use that artificial sun for. That's what they want to try to use it for, ultimately at the end of the day.
Probably.
You know? That's
Ain't
what
gonna work.
It ain't gonna work. That's
Ain't gonna work.
horrible. Who would think of that? Boy. And they're hand in hand with Esau. It says, "Thou sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children, widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection."
Yeah, it's going to be all of a sudden, and it's going to be in its perfection. It's going to be perfectly executed.
Perfectly timed right in.
That's right. Right on the chin. Okay? Everything is systematically going to collapse and then be burnt. Okay? That's it on that. I'm going back here real quick to Psalms 50, just to compound on what the elder just read. Psalms 50 and 21. These things thou hast done, and I kept silence. And thou thoughtest that I was altogether such and one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. That's what's happening, man. Like you said, our coming up, us being raised up, this great awakening is simultaneous with the downfall of the daughter of Babylon. Babylon the Great. Okay?
The exposing of Esau.
That's right.
It
Now-
says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed." At the time that he will slay him with the sword of his mouth, that's the prophets. That's when he will start to be revealed, when the prophets get raised up. It's too much for him. Still got some more on that? Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 6 and 18. It says, and it said, "Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth."
And people are being visited when a piece of a mountain falls on your ass.
Man,
That's the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
a boat called Jesus.
That's a lot of freakness.
It's like an angel. Like, yeah, and the boat was named Jesus. And the angel just flew by. Woo!
Who at it?
That's the Lord visiting the earth. Sinkholes, floods, judgment, famines. And he's using Esau. That's why he calls him the sword. Because Esau is really the one who's bringing a lot of these plagues upon the earth.
It says, verse 19, "And will begin to make inquisition of them when they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled."
And what is inquisition? Cross-examination.
Right.
Meaning you're being watched.
Searched out.
You're being searched out. And we're living at a time of judgment, and this is likened to a testimony.
Oh yeah.
So you're being cross-examined, and you're being found out to be the devil.
Being brought before the ultimate judge, Most High.
Right, right.
It says,
That's why now Edomite is a popular term.
oh yeah. They know that they the Edomite.
Right.
Too.
Right. They know.
Yeah.
And it's
They jacket on them now.
Jake and it raps.
Yep.
Rock, what's this dude? Rock Marciano.
Yeah.
Edomite. He said the Edomites in his rap. I'm like, okay. So, hey man, it can't. It's coming out. Corruption is being overcome through the Lord raising up lowly men and putting the message in them. Go ahead.
I'll read verse 20. It says, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens.
And this world is vanishing away. When the foundation of life of any civilization is tainted, family. When that's tainted, only corruption and decay can come. And that's what you see.
Weirdos adopt kids, man.
Yeah. When children are polluted and children have access to just any valve to see anything here, like then nothing. So this world is fading away. Go ahead.
It says, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall all see together.
Right, and the Lord used the internet, man. And the Holy Spirit will sit down too. But the Lord used the internet for what? We can all see together. Yep.
Yep. Even with the way that the Lord has His word is just easily accessible 24 hours, 7 days a week, man. That light in the temple was always lit.
It's always lit.
Never in the law was never. It was to continually stay lit day and night. And look now, you know what I'm saying? The Lord opened the Spirit and He handed down gifts, and you can literally get this word anytime.
Anytime you want.
Non-stop. You know?
Go ahead.
Real quick. The kingdom is within, put Sirach 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security shalt thou be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bring it out.
Right? Like it says in Ecclesiastes 12, seek the Creator in the days of thy youth while the evil days come not, man. You know, you want to prepare before the actual judgment comes, you know? While we under this time of grace. That's the point being made.
Got a precept. Nobody else will.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. I saw verse 1, because he was going into pretty much how the prophets, with this word going out, is synonymous with the downfall of this kingdom, right? Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. So far,
This is a part of the strangeness of the salvation. This is part of that strange salvation. This foolishness of preaching. Nobody would think that this was how God would usher in the kingdom.
Right.
Read that again. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they repenting.
When those chariots come, and people, the Lord go put it in people's mind who we are. Like they're gonna know, like, damn, those are the children of the Lord. Go ahead.
And they, I was about to say, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision.
Right. Had us on the news. They're gonna put us on the news, and the whole world's gonna come against us. Watch. But the Lord, through all of that, miracles gonna be happening. And you ain't gonna have no choice but to say, man, this is real. Because if you turn, when the Lord shows you what He shows you, if you, from this point, we've seen enough. But imagine when He's getting ready to show you, and then you see that, like, come on, man, you can't look back. You're gonna have to walk in that. Yeah.
So we would get plugged out.
Yep. I was just agreeing with y'all. I'm saying blessings are coming too. One side's fair, man. He sees I'm trying to blessings are coming too.
Now provision has been made for the elect. For the elect, there's provision being made. That's why, you know, you read that, you go back to that Romans, the 8th chapter. You got to read that chapter, you know, frequently to remind yourself that, you know, we gonna be all right, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Lord before you, who can be against you, right?
Right. He said we're gonna eat, not only eat, but we're gonna eat deliciously.
Oh yeah.
What does that all entail? And that entails some form of, I'm saying, autonomy You know what I'm saying? Us being able to govern ourselves, us being able to work for ourselves. On a small level, just so us to get, we can get by. You know what I'm saying? Tell the Most High, get us up out of here.
He gave us just what we would need.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the flesh you want more, that's natural. But the Lord gave us exactly all we need to get through. And what's that prayer? Give me neither poverty nor riches, food that's sufficient for me.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 4. We fools accounting his life madness, and his end to be without honor.
And because investing in the spirit is something that's ridiculous to a place like this, to Babylon confusion, right? It's an emphasis on, you know what I'm saying, fulfilling yourself, fulfilling your wants, you know, a term called individualism, which is pushed in Western culture. You're really the main focal point or main guy that everybody wants you to be is themselves or their individuality. So, you know, somebody would do something, you know what I'm saying, that's totally contrary to building up a nation like the moles. You know what I'm saying? You got people, you know, pushing their children to live like a cat, like, man, do whatever we want to do. And that's not forwarding of a nation, right? Under the banner, more importantly, under the will of Yahweh Bashim. So us coming and saying, you know what, that's an order that was given to us by Yahweh Bashim in layman terms, God, right? You look crazy to the world. Right. But when the Most High upgrades us, and it's not upgrade is coming, you can feel it. Yeah. Brothers get more tactical. Like brothers are you know what I'm saying, putting things together. Well, that's all because of prophecy, right? And we're learning how to be kings.
Real quick. 1 John 3:1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not.
Right. Right. So you're going to be disregarded when you put on that nature. Scriptures talk about put ye on the elect. Putting on that nature and coming into this mindset, because the powers that be, you know, we're not sovereign, we're nothing, you know. And they don't know the ways of Yahweh. Everything that's opposite of what to do in the Bible, everything that the Bible say do, this place does opposite. Right. So you come into that legacy, you're gonna be disregarded, but they're gonna have to see it in glory and power. That's when it's gonna be like, oh my goodness, you know. So all these nations are gonna bow down to Yahweh and therefore bow down to the elect, to us. Okay.
I'll finish this up. It says, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 5. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us.
Man, because if you really look at all sects of, you know what I'm saying, of this particular government or entity, whatever you want to call it, it's all geared towards really Jake being the lesser. Whether it be in politics, whether it be in these various pseudosciences, the squad, the brings out eloquent, all these aspects of life is really utilized to demonize Jake.
Accusation. Right? The accuser of the brethren, right?
Yep. And it's all embedded, right? Because you look at the judicial system. What you do? Well, Jake is a criminal. Well, why is he a criminal? Well, according to pseudoscience,
right? They got
right.
The science to back. It's not racism.
It's all it's a part of Western culture, or let's get biblical. The mark, the image of the beast. Right. And the part of the image of the beast is you are a nigga, spit, Uncle Tomahawk.
Right. And we're the greatest people. You have a low IQ. The reason you're not at the top like we are is because you're inherently stupid. Right. That's the science that's their science.
Right. Right.
And it's really all rebellion of the Lord. They tell you the races of people are black, white, red, yellow. Yeah. This part of the earth is called this. This element is called it. It's all the image. The image of the beast ain't just no white Jesus. There's an actual embodiment of that we're witnessing here. And it ain't something that you can touch. But you can see it. You can feel it. Right. Esau Edom's mindset runs the earth. That's what the Renaissance was. the rebirth of the Edomite mindset, way of governing, what's art according to the Edomite. Everything started to switch back to Edom Rome. And now you have Babylon the Great, the NATO, and the EU, and we're just about at the end of it.
Revelations 13 and 11. Now beheld another beast coming up out of the earth.
Right.
And he had two horns like a lamb.
Now, when you read this is speaking of America. Now, when you read earlier in the chapter, which you don't have to get it, it talks about the beast, all right, deadly wound, had a deadly wound, and the deadly wound was healed. That's speaking of Rome falling, the Western Roman Empire, and then the Renaissance period was the rebirth of Rome. That has led all the way up to what? It started in Italy, then who do you have? The French, the Spanish, the British, you have the Germans, okay, and then what do you have? The 13 colonies. That's the revival of Rome being complete along with NATO and the EU. Okay? Go ahead.
Revelation 13:11. I beheld another beast coming out of the slot. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth,
Right.
and he had two horns like a lamb,
Right.
and he spake as a dragon.
Two horns like a lamb. All right, now what is a lamb? The lamb comes to you as if it's meek. All right? And he has these two horns that he tricks people with. He gives them a false sense of salvation, a false sense of freedom. Okay? That horn, when you look up horns, it's synonymous with a savior. So, people take to the Democratic, Republican, but it's even deeper than that. Okay? He has this way of one against the other that he ensnares people's soul with day in and day out within this whole system. Right now, what do you have? The juicer and the anti-juicer. Within that, souls are being just snatched. People don't know what the hell is going on.
Yep. Sir.
You go to any Instagram post, niggas are arguing
Yeah.
all day.
We got versus battles. Old niggas popping
Right.
back up doing the old
Right.
songs against each other.
So this beast is speaking of America and how it's a deceptive way of snaring souls, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
And he spake as a dragon, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him.
Right, and he spake as a dragon. He came as a lamb, but what ends up happening is draconian measures, draconian laws, which goes back to Athens, Greece, which Greece is here as well. We're in the ancient Greco-Roman Empire, but Rome was just the height of the power structure. Okay?
But they use their military might and that sword to really push forth their agendas throughout the whole planet Earth.
Right.
You know?
Teeth and iron, yeah.
So he come like Biden. What did he do? He came like a lamb, right?
Oh, man.
Now look.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
He said, I'm going to work like a devil to bring out the
He just said the devil, man. Like,
He said that?
I'm going to work like the devil to bring out the devil.
he said free crack pipes for everybody.
Yeah.
So nothing should surprise you at this point with this guy. He's taking it there. Go ahead.
And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had, it's like you already did. Verse 12, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the
Now,
first
real quick,
beast.
what's the first beast?
Roman Empire?
There you go. He exercises all the power of the first beast. Has not this system exercised the same influence, the same everything? The Constitution, all of it goes back to Rome. Everything that you see before you.
Treaty of
Even
Rome.
Valentine's
Tree
Day
of
about to
Rome.
celebrate, man.
Yeah. Valentine's Day is coming up,
Look at
right?
that.
Mm-hmm.
And go back to
Cupid.
the Pax Romana. Romantic.
Right, and we ain't talking about 112. We're talking about the real Cupid. Okay, the freak. Okay, and all of that stuff is back here today, being practiced, being shoved down your throat. Okay, so you're witnessing Rome live through America, through this beast system. Hell, the EU is basically ancient Rome. When you look at the map. Okay, now you just have added Babylon and Canada. And a few in the other countries. Go ahead.
Whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from the earth, from heaven on the earth, so like
His
in the sight of
military,
man.
like NATO. Go ahead.
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
Right, there's technology. The Lord gave him a lot of things to work with. So through his technology, through his so-called miracles on the left-hand side, he's even making the blind to see. He's making the lame to walk. Okay? And he's giving you a microwave world that's like, wow, I can talk to somebody that's thousands of miles away from here and lay in my bed.
I can get something right now.
Right.
If I want some food, I can go to this app.
Right.
Somebody will be drop the food off
Right.
the door in like 10 minutes.
I can have sexual desires through the damn device in my head.
All right.
Wonders.
Yeah, so he's taken humanity, but humanity has gotten significantly. Human relations are at an all-time low. People don't know how to operate and deal with one another. Relationships is just what you gonna do. I know what you gonna do.
Done.
All you do is eat.
Eat, get drunk, and smash.
That's it.
Watch a movie.
Watch a movie, man.
Watch a movie. Yep. Okay,
Show
so
you
ahead.
that this is wrong.
Yep.
This
Yep.
is on history.com, the history of Valentine's Day.
Right.
It says Valentine's Day occurs every February 14th across the United States and in other places around the world. Candy, flowers, and gifts are exchanged between loved ones.
And who's the main ones doing that? Jake. Let you not take Eve out or get her a Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah, they're big on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You get with the men of the Lord, we won't even acknowledge it. You'd be like, huh? But after about 4 or 5 years, they'd be like, oh, yeah. It's a good nigga. Go ahead.
It says, all in the name of Saint Valentine, but who is this mysterious saint and where did these traditions come from? Find out about the meaning of the history of Valentine's Day from the ancient Roman ritual of Lupercalia
There you go.
that welcomed spring to the card-giving customs of Victorian England.
Right, so they would take gods in different parts of the time of the seasons, different seasons. They'd associate sex acts with it.
Yep. Yep. That's what they would do.
Like, damn. Why can't it just be spring? Why does a god have to be busting a nut?
Yeah.
Why can't it just be that God changed the season? You know? Go ahead.
Lupercalia, it says, was a pastoral festival of ancient Rome observed annually on February 14th to purify the city, promoting health and fertility. Lupercalia, which is also let you know that they knew the first when the first moon of the year was.
Right.
So they knew springtime was coming in. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it says Lupercalia was also known as Dies Februatus after the purification instruments called Fibra.
Hey, what's going on? So you're seeing that, and this is the image of the beast. This is a part of it. It's not just Valentine's Day, but that is how the image speaks. More so than the white Jesus. And that's a damn shame. One body go set up over there and put image of the beast, the white Jesus. No, man. Like, why are you go stand over there and teach that bullshit? Come on, man. Well, that was the name of the video.
Yeah.
White Jesus, image of the beast gets confounded. Because the white Jesus is the image of the beast to them. No. Stuff like this is the image of the Senate, the courthouses. That's how the image speaks. Through the customs of America. They all go back to Rome. The holidays, go ahead.
All right.
Like, why? That should make sense to like a spiritual person. Oh, that make more sense.
All these doctor terms are Latin. You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
Very simple.
Botany.
Roman numerals.
Supreme Court.
All right. So I'm gonna read two sections in the rights it says locations. The rites were confined in the Lupercal cave, the Palestine hill, and the Forum, all of which were central locations in Rome's foundation myth. Near the cave stood a sanctuary of Rumina, goddess of breastfeeding, and the wild fig tree, to which Romulus and Remus were brought by the divine intervention of the river god Tiberius.
River god. Titty sucking god.
Yeah. Some Roman sources named the wild fig tree Capricius, literally goat fig. All right. Now, when you go down to the actual sacrifice, it says the Lupercal altar, a male goat or goats and a dog were sacrificed by one or another of the Luperci. What's that word? Luperci goes back to the wolf. All right, because it's supposed to be like brothers of the wolf or something like that. It says under the supervision of the Flamindalis, Jupiter's chief priest. An offering was also made of salted meal cakes prepared by the Vestal virgins.
Oh, meal cakes. That makes me think of pretty much the cakes that was given to the Queen of Heaven or something like that.
Yeah. No, Vestal. After the blood sacrifice, two Luperci approached the altar. Their foreheads were anointed with blood from the sacrificial knife, then wiped clean with wool soaked in milk, after which they were expected to laugh. Okay? It says the sacrificial feast followed, after which the Luperci cut thongs from the flayed skin of the animal and ran with these naked or near naked along the old Palatine boundary.
I'll wait for the friction.
Yeah. So they would make it.
Nasty.
They run around naked. Woo, man. Okay. In an anti-clockwise direction around the hill. They pulled in Pulcher's description of the Lupercalia written in the early empire, many of the noble youths and of the magistrates run up and down through the city naked for sport and laughter, striking those they meet with shaggy thongs. So they run around getting people butt naked. And many women of rank also purposely get in their way, and like children in school, present their hands to be struck, believing that the pregnant will thus be helped in delivery, and the barren
That's too much.
pregnancy.
Like that Cupid probably. That's what that sounds like.
Come and let us play, yeah.
That's what he said.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
So now you up there sitting with your boo thing, finna take her out to dinner and a movie, that got her a card and stuff.
Wearing red together.
You're wearing red together. You don't even know what you really, doing. You know?
You're worshiping the image.
That's why when Paul came to Athens and he saw the city was
Yeah, I
just
was
full
looking
of
that up.
idolatry, man.
Yeah.
It's like, goodness gracious, this is
Right.
ridiculous.
And his preaching was causing friction because they were like, man, you turning people from Diana.
Yeah.
You turning people from our gods, man. And those gods are back here today, and we're turning Jake, the ones of us who wake up, you're being turned from those idols. Okay? All over again, man. Go ahead.
This is Daniel chapter 7. I'm gonna start at I'm gonna read verse 7 and 8, and then jump down in the chapter.
We got to get an image of the beast, too.
Oh, wait for the first.
Yeah, read that. Just read that part about how he made them to worship. You know? That's what you see happening, even through this whole thing.
Right.
When it's all said and done, what are they telling you to do? Bow to their image.
Yeah.
That's what it's all fulfilled in.
And Rome coming back.
Take my remedy. Take my potion. This is salvation for you. This will protect you. And when it's all said and done, that's what they're telling you to do.
This is salvation.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to bow to my image. Go ahead.
Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Killed. Now, when you look at that word killed, it's a separation. Like meaning, and we're seeing, John saw this like where you would be separated from society and cut off from. As a matter of fact, somebody looked that up. I believe it's the root word. Yeah, look up that word kill, because it is. They eventually they are going to pass legislation. If you have a particular mindset, you get killed. But in a sense, what he's talking about is what we're getting ready to read. Because we got to remember, John saw everything we're going through. This vision, as he wrote this down, he's writing what you're living through. Go ahead.
That word killed here in the Greek is apoktino, which means to kill in whatsoever way, to destroy.
Right.
But that root word is apo. It says of separation.
Separation.
It says of local separation.
Right.
After verbs of motion from a place or departing or of a fleeing. Of separation of a part from the whole.
You're separated from the whole.
Check this one out.
Go ahead.
Of any kind of separation of one thing from another by which the union or fellowship of the two is destroyed.
You can't come in here.
Another one.
May I say, Shaquan, and they're gonna be able to do that with that blockchain technology.
Oh yeah.
If you do research on it, it's way more intricate than what you think.
Oh yeah, on the surface.
I'm doing this research of it, and there's particular points to where they have it to where they're gonna be able to decentralize certain aspects of society. Case in point, getting a passport, where you'll have your own individual blockchain. It will be a digital. It will be basically a digital ID.
Yeah, it's an NFT.
I was just thinking of.
That's what it's gonna be.
You know, you're gonna be able to capitalize off yourself. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be within their. It's done.
It's over. They're God at that point.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, they can see everything.
Okay.
It says of a state of separation, that of distance.
Distance.
6 feet.
So 6 feet.
Look at that.
6 feet. John saw it. He saw people.
Microphones.
Right. He saw people. Yeah. He saw people being divided, being separated.
Yeah, that system.
The introduction of this system that we're ushering into, which the Lord is going to destroy, is causing division. And it's cutting particular people off. It's separating mindsets. Households. Okay? You got men scared to lay with their woman, they don't know what to think.
They want to come together for these little so-called holidays.
Families saying, don't come around here if you don't got this. Okay, you got to stay this particular distance. Like what? And out of every number, 6.
Right.
So we're witnessing them saying you have to bow to the image. And what is the image? It's based upon the ancient Roman Empire, according to what we just saw.
Right.
The image of the beast speaking and living ain't just Caesar Borgia and Christianity. Where is Christianity right now within Esau's plans? He done with it. And he used it for what he used it for, to get Jake, you know. He done with Christianity. He don't want nothing to do with Christianity. They ain't getting on the news saying we need to turn to Jesus. No, science. Okay.
Christianity was only a handmade to push Edomite supremacy.
Right.
It's simply a tool in illustrating his dominance.
Right.
Make people more subservient to slaves too.
Right. So rebellion against the Most High is really the image of the beast, and it's being set up all around you. Right. Case in point, they just gave reparations to the alphabets.
Yep.
And you know that stems. You know what that stems? That stems from civil rights. Because off the back of civil rights came women's rights, this right, everybody rights. And what happens? You get a right. You get a right. What happened is they were able to link lifestyle to the curses.
That's exactly.
So me and Jake takes on to this. They chose a lifestyle. But
really
you were just born Israelite and getting your ass beat, getting poisoned, getting shot up and down the street, experimented on. Now the struggle you went through can be tied to an alphabet.
It just leapfrog you.
And now that lifestyle speaks, like you down
Yeah.
for this system.
Right.
It speaks.
You
gotta carry that mindset. And if you say anything against it, boy, he'll be one of the celebrities to say something about the moles or about the small hat guy.
And systematically, pretty much all of the top of that civil rights movement, Alex Baldwin, all of them were moles. Admired Rustin. Even a lot of the women.
Yeah.
They were all alphabet. So really what they were doing the whole time was just ushering you into a circle of confusion. Meanwhile, you're rebelling against the Lord. You're calling it your fight. That's a fucked up thing to set somebody up. Esau set you up.
Gotcha.
Man, bro.
It only,
It only took really 50 years.
Yeah.
Really, if you really stay, we start kicking off in the 90s. So
Right.
It took 40 years?
Yep. Off of black power, black rights, civil rights came the destruction of everything. When now women, it all worked against you. It was a setup. You fought to get into their schools, which you were doing better when you had your own goddamn schools.
Yep. Way better.
So what did they do? They set up this situation with these two black girls trying to get into a white school, and they got denied. They put it all over the news.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, now Jake, why can't we get in your school? Treat us equal. Now you left what you didn't have to march after the Devil Creek. It's a setup the whole time, man.
It's crafty counsel.
What's this bitch that was not Rosa Parks?
Yeah.
That wasn't the only person that did that.
Yeah. There was several accounts before her.
Right.
That was just the one they took and blew up.
Blew up. And what type of fight is that?
Yeah.
She, instead of getting on the back of the bus, she sat at the front.
Yeah.
No, Jake, how is that empowering? What is that? Every year we got to celebrate. She sat right here, not right there.
Every year at school, somebody telling that damn story.
And you had a lot of men who were doing that before her.
Yeah.
Her husband was an activist.
Right.
When he died.
But what is that to take hold to? You gonna throw away King David for a nigga who sat in the front of the bus instead of the back?
Oh, man.
What are you doing? So it was all a setup, and it was cute. Oh well, Mary McLeod Bethune. Said Frederick Douglass. Wee. But that shit didn't tie you to any type of legacy, man.
Yeah, Harry Tubman.
You ask
Harry
a nigga
Tubman.
about Frederick Douglass, don't even know nothing about him.
He had a perm. Yeah, Umar Johnson. What'd he say? I'm related to him. Over. Black power is done, man. Nobody want to hear that. And all he's doing is getting money and getting bucks. Every picture he's with a woman. So he's going around the earth talking shit, telling them you Coco Nubian queen, just getting paid and getting money. Keep doing it. Have at it. Where we at?
Well, I have one, Daniel.
Go ahead.
Let's explain the transition from Khalid to Great. This is Daniel chapter 7. I'm going to jump around, actually. I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, "And after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces."
That's the military might of the Roman Empire, this fourth beast. All right? Dreadful and terrible, man. And when Rome rose up, they were running through the nations. And all the people knew, hey, Rome coming. Rome coming. I don't know what deal y'all gonna make, but they coming. Go ahead.
And there's a picture of Rosa Parks bowing to Hindu gods.
Really?
Yeah, he was into all of that weirdo stuff, man.
It says, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns.
They had 10 horns, meaning they had devised a plan to use a system of tyrants to basically govern the extension of their empire. So they would take you down, they would kill all the men, then they would take the boys, and then they would go and raise them up. Now Babylon did this as well, but Rome went in. They made a system of government and rule, vassals that was more intricate than the world had ever seen. Okay.
Right, you can be outside of Rome and still be in Rome. the Roman idea could be in a whole nother region.
Yeah.
An hegemony like that.
Right. Just
Right.
like America.
Just like America, right? So now that's what we see. In this modern Rome, that same process has gone down, but back then, you know, they called it the common markets. So you read about the barbarian hordes and everything like that. Okay? Go ahead, Chad.
Verse 8, it says, I considered the horns, and behold,
Great place to study Greek and Roman Empire type stuff is ancient.eu. I really
Yeah.
like that site.
Yep.
I really like that site, man. Ancient.eu, and then you can just type in something that you want to read about. You know,
It's a lot.
Punic Wars, you know, the Syrian Wars. You can go all the way back to Julius Caesar, and they'll have good articles on
I'm
there.
surprised that article, that
Right.
site is still up.
Yeah, you can go back and read about the Greco-Persian Wars. Give you a little bit of sense of the time when that was leading up into Alexander, okay, Philip the Macedonian, what happened with all that type
It's
of stuff.
crazy that the Bible is scrutinized for being a book written by men, when all history was written by men.
Baba Kasha, what was that website again?
Ancient.eu.
They used to have another one, something Kim, back in the day, but
I might still have it as a bookmark.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Something Kim, Neo Kim, or something. Had everything, but it's gone. They took it down.
Oh, okay.
Continuing on verse 8, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
So this is basically speaking of Rome and the revival of Rome. And what you're going to find out in prophecy is that the revival of Rome is the end of all heathen rule. And that is fulfilled here in Babylon the Great, America. And Japhites do not run that fourth beast. Japhites ran the Medial Empire. The Medes were Japhites. Okay? The Edomites run the fourth beast and the revival of it. They ran the Greeks. They were the Greeks and the Romans. And that is the very empires you see being mimicked in today's society. It's just in a technological sense. You got the Olympics, you got the Colosseums, everything that went on in those empires, the gym. You're seeing the image speak now through America. We're watching it. So that's far more intricate than just white Jesus. White Jesus, that's it. That's the image of the beast.
Simple.
And they be loud. Like, bro, calm down. There's far more to it, bro.
I know what you're talking about.
You don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Hold on, just one second. I'll get this to go along with what you just said, Elder.
Yep.
Because you got to understand that there was a process of all of these things happening.
Right.
Scriptures talk about how Esau came up into rulership in the area of Macedonia, which ended up leading to his rulership all throughout that region, man. Now was Esau traveling and going into Italy and stuff like that way before then? Absolutely, man. There's people that kind of record Duke Megadale of Esau being up in Italy, and there's like a myth that maybe Romulus and Remus came out of him. Okay, but we know the prophecy says that Esau was going to be ruling in the last days,
Right.
and we see the extension of the prophecies here. All right, so read that Bible chapter.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip,
Alexander, son of Philip. This is talking about Alexander the Greek. Okay, son of Philip the Macedonian. Go ahead. They were Edomites. That's right.
the Macedonians who came out of the land of Chittim had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
That's right. Chittim is that area over there in Greece. Okay.
Yep. And it was through Alexander's force. Alexander didn't actually put the sword to Darius. It was through his force that Darius is one of the dudes who was with him was like, man, let's submit. And Darius was being like, hell no. So the dude killed him. He offed him. Like, fuck this, man. And they submitted under to his. That's how powerful he was. He wasn't actually there, but his force led to Darius's one of his right hand men.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
All right.
See if you can look it up. Well,
Now the Greeks weren't able to completely
We gotta
penetrate
read.
into Persia, but they constantly were at war. And this battle that Alexander, the blow that his rulership did to Persia, catapulted him, because it was always about control over the land of Israel, because the land of Israel was the center point of market for that whole region in the Mediterranean. So you have something called the King's Highway. So it was always contention over being able to control that region. And so Israel is always in the mix of these battles of empires, right? Because they need those lands to move riches, people, all types of stuff, man. Okay? So it's being recorded because it affected our nation, man. Okay? Go ahead.
That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds,
Yep.
and slew the kings of the earth.
Now you can go read about that on ancient.eu, a lot of the battles and stuff like that was going on between them, because we're talking about this was hundreds of years of war. It wasn't just like the Alexander rose up and then they started fighting. They had been fighting with these Macedonians. All the way back to when you read in the book of Esther, when you read about Haman, all right, the Macedonian. Why do you think he reacted so viciously? Why do you think Artaxerxes reacted so viciously towards Haman and all the Edomites in the region? Because there was always a history of that warfare going back and forth. All right, that's why he called Haman of Macedon. All right, Esau had already been up there in Macedon, growing, creating families, rulerships, and everything like that. Okay, so you see, whenever they killed all the Edomites, okay, during the time of what we call the Purim or Lot, that high holy day is a celebration of all the Edomites being removed. Okay, now what you just gonna say, bro?
God, yeah. So like, was it what specific war, if there was it when the Edomites basically absorbed? Because weren't the original Romans those were Etruscans, like the
Yeah.
So when did they like basically absorb them?
It's a process of time. Think about it.
The Greek Dark Ages.
Yeah, well, you have, bro, that's even before. You have something called the Greek Dark Ages. You can go look up, but you got to think about, even during the time of the Renaissance, there was a transition for Esau to get back up in power. It wasn't like 1492. No, you had Esau rising back up after the Moors had took over. It took time of like
Renaissance spread.
Yeah, it took time for like in the 1200s of this marriage leading to this. Now he got these lands. He's the Duke of, Venice, but he been sitting there 2 generations. Then he finally marries his family over in Scotland, builds up this enterprise, and now so Esau's getting his way up in it. It was the same way when they was taking down the Etruscans. Process of wars, family mixing, doing this, conniving. That's how they got all the way up in Kittim. Because you got to remember, Haman had came from where? He was in Egypt. I believe that was him in Egypt.
Hadad
was in Egypt. I wanted to use that story as an example because he fled to Egypt, right? Was in Egypt, built up, then he had came back. And I can't remember, there was a reason why he had came back, where I get that story.
Pretty much it was during the time of Solomon where Hadad had fled into Egypt.
That's right, because King David had scattered them.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's right. King David had scattered the Edomites.
Yeah.
He went into Egypt, dwelt, built up, and he said, I'm going to go back. You know what I'm saying? His family knew of that story, man.
This was King Solomon started blowing off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when Hadad tried to come.
Started making marriages, building themselves up. Then in Babylon, they teamed up.
thing, yeah.
Teamed up with the Babylonians. Built up. Persians came.
Haman.
Now we're talking about Haman. So now that war, all them fighting is going back and forth. That's why, one of the reasons why politically, the Persian king came down on the Edomites so hard, because they was already at war. Now skipping ahead, all right, the Lucian wars, all this, skipping all ahead, you get to this time of Alexander the Great. And he was successful against his campaign against the Persians. It was always like a back and forth. But Persia was kind of like winning. But now you see the Edomites kind of finally get back. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 3, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
Go ahead.
And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him.
That's right, man. So that's that third beast that you're reading about, and the brother skipped down to the fourth beast. But those two empires, that's why they call it the Greco-Roman empires, right? We don't, they don't tie nothing. Those who are tied, why? It's the Edomites, man. It's the Edomites.
Yep. Point blank period.
Okay.
And it's no, and they used to love being associated with Greeks in Rome. Now they don't want to talk about it. Once we started linking those empires to Esau, you don't hear them bragging on the Greeks or the Romans no more. Now they bring out how decadent Rome became. You know?
And
Yeah, a little bit more.
And after these things, he fell seed that he should die.
Yeah, so he died. Yeah, he died. Then he gave the empire to his 4 generals. We all, you can go and study that, man. But that calls to show you, though, that Esau had spread and created a mighty, mighty empire.
That was only in 12 years, too.
He did that 12 years of constant war. Okay?
He was blessed with the sports.
That's
One
right.
of the ways you know that's Esau.
That's right. That's right, man. So that goes into all the politics, everything, man. It's all tied in there. We can go back to that.
Senate is in there.
Senate,
That's in
democracy.
all of that. Yeah, democracy actually goes back to the Greeks. Athens.
That's right.
Democracy goes back to Athens, Greece. And it was always known, when you track it historically, it's always led to tyranny. You know what I'm saying? And that's interesting that Draco came out of Athens as well.
Yeah.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 8 again. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots.
French, the Spanish, the British. Then came this little horn. This is all dealing with the Renaissance period, the Revolutionary Wars, which led to Babylon being formed. Out of Britain. Go ahead.
God, it says, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things.
His science. He's just a man, but he acts like he's God. Go ahead. And he boasts against the Most High with the science. With his blessing, he uses it to boast against the Most High, to boast against Jacob, and to spread lies out. Okay?
Verse 8 or verse 9. This is how you know that in biblical prophecy that this proves that we have to be at the end.
We got to be at the end.
Yeah.
According to Daniel's vision. Where are we?
Yeah. Verse 9 it says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
The heathen rule is over.
That's it.
Now the Lord is getting ready to make a decision, which will lead to his son returning and destroying Esau's world and setting up the kingdom, man. Go ahead.
It says, I beheld, Daniel 7:9, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
So the Most High got a beautiful white garment in an afro. It said that, you know? And he's getting ready to send his son who looks just like him. Go ahead.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him.
Could you imagine that moment before he sends Yahushua? What's going to be happening in the heavens?
Conversation they gonna have.
What is that? You know,
Many times, I imagine.
that's a lot to imagine. Like, what is this? What is he like? What does that mean? Like,
He gives you Yahushua the green light, bro?
yeah, when he gives Yahushua the green light, it's going to be it's going to be something that happens before, you know.
Yeah. He gets that green light, man. The angels gonna be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like goodness gracious.
Keep reading, and then we'll close it out. Go ahead.
It said the fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and
Angels.
10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened.
The books were open, and those who are written in that book, the book of life, are going to be delivered, set up, you know, And those who are written to be judged, it's judgment time. Go ahead.
Yep. I beheld them because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake.
The Lord is sending his son back to shut up this damn horn. And a horn is power. Okay? He beheld, he's looking what's going on the earth. He's looking at Esau boast. This is what we're getting ready to do. Look at my technology. I'm getting ready to be able to make humans cyborgs, yada, yada, yada. That's what he's beholding. That's what Daniel saw. Go ahead.
And that word voice for the great words in the precept word, it says sounds of pompous words.
Pompous word. The NWO. Go ahead.
It says, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame.
How's that going to happen though? Keep going.
Yep. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away.
Right.
Yet their lives were prolonged for a season.
Right. Speaking of the heathen nations, you know, Esau is really the only heathen nation that's going to be utterly destroyed. That, you know, because of what they did. But the other nations, they're going to have their dominion taken, but their lives will be prolonged. They'll be able to, after a while, they'll be able to still live. And we're just going to teach them righteousness, man. Go ahead.
Yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. I saw in the
and
night.
they're not going to have everlasting life.
Right, exactly.
They're still going to be subject to death. They're still going to get sick. They're still going to sin. But over time, they're going to be upgraded. Through the kingdom being set up, the heathen are going to be upgraded. Okay? They're going to have to live according to the law, statutes, commandments. They're going to become healthier. They ain't going to be like this. Go ahead.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven. So who is this?
Right.
There you go with it.
Because he showed you the angels getting ready, but now he's giving you the vision of his son returning. Go ahead.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him.
Right. The angels, it is time. It's time.
Man.
Go get him.
Man.
So imagine what's going to be happening on the earth while all of this is happening in the heavens, man.
Verse 14, and there was given him dominion and glory and the kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away.
Right. That's Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it in a whole nother way. It's been said in a whole nother way. We just saw it. The end of the fourth beast and the little horn that revived it, and the ushering in of the kingdom of heaven.
And two, Michael Ford.
So, man, we can go all day, man. So, that's something else. So with that, we got some more. Anybody else? All right, man. So with that, hopefully I'll edify. We give all praises to the Heavenly Father,
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakudash.
double honors to the apostles, the elders that wear millstone, peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look into that Valentine's Day stuff.
Yeah, Valentine, Cupid.
Tiberius, he killed like some generals named Saint Valentine or something.
I remember in college, I took the gift Eve gave me and gave it to another Eve.
That's
I got some chocolate for
A
you.
lot of different things.
Big girl gave me that
February
goddamn chocolate.
14th
Shalom.
of that year, they just did all kind of
That's
wickedness.
right. The custom,